A very good evening. This is Eswatini TV News at 8. I am Nathalie Sitole alongside Zamanzi Manze. First up, let's have a look at our top stories. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku today took to Ngwene, where he conversed with older persons from Buseleni, Ngwene, Hlobane and Ekupumleni chiefdoms for the observation of the International Day of Older Persons. The Minister for Education, Lady Howard, says teachers have a major role to play in ensuring the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. The University of Eswatini's graduation ceremony has been postponed indefinitely. Glad you could join us. The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku today took to Ngwene, where he conversed with older persons from Buseleni, Ngwene, Hlobane and Ekupumleni chiefdoms for the observation of the International Day of Older Persons. Masuku says this day is an important reminder to challenge negative stereotypes about older persons and reminding them to realize their potential.
Just about 1,000 older persons from all 4 chiefdoms under the Ngwene constituency assembled at the constituency where the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku and his office commemorated the 2022 International Day of Older Persons. Masuku says the theme for this year's International Day of Older Persons emphasizes calls to action to dismantle inequalities that continue to impact the lives of older persons, especially women who constitute the majority of the population of older persons.
Bantu abadala bantu labamqoka kakhulu baphethe insika tentuthuko baphethe insika tekwakha live umlandvo ubantu labadzala ema-values konke kuphethwe bantu abadzala kungako ke mhlabuhlangene wahluta ingqondo wabona ukuthi lokuthi kugujwe letinye lamanye malanga angagujwa labadzala asathi agujwe.
Masuku says it is everyone's responsibility to be actively against discrimination based on age and gender. He says the inclusion of older persons is critical to enhancing holistic responses to many national catastrophes. Sifiso Ngumalo for Eswatini TV News, Ngwene.
The Minister for Education, Lady Howard, says teachers have a major role to play in ensuring the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals. Minister Howard was speaking during a national policy dialogue on education for Sustainable Development Goals held in Matapa.
The Kingdom of Eswatini, in collaboration with key stakeholders in the education sector, is in the process of formulating a local education for sustainable development framework, which will serve as a reference document for development of the education sector in line with the Sustainable Development Goals. Speaking during the official opening of the meeting, the Minister for Education, Lady Howard, says teachers can play a crucial role in ensuring that the Sustainable Development Goals are achieved. Howard says their stakeholders will also look into how best can they accelerate the achievement of the SDGs, as there are allegations that countries will not be able to achieve them on time.
Imfundo ingisona sisekelo sawo onke lama SDGs lang 17 kuze akhoneke ukuthi ahlangabeteke kufuna kuqale kuhambe embili imfundo kuze nawo atothola sisekelo sokucathuta ayembili.
Phumzile Hlophe, the Secretary General for Eswatini National Commissioner for UNESCO, says the goals for all countries include education for increased agricultural productivity, sustainable industrialization, including a circular economy, investing in infrastructure development and renewable energy, along with education that supports conservation of biodiversity, sustainable, fair and equitable use of genetic resources, clean air and water, as well as better adaptive capacity to climate change.
Lemfundo lesinayo ingasebenta kanjani ukuthi kube imfundo lekhonsako kube imfundo lekhona ukuthi ikunikete kuphila kusasa.
Hlophe says these have an implication for quality education, higher education, as well as adult citizenship education and community learning in Eswatini. For Eswatini TV News, Sondomlangeni, Themba Shabangu Matapa.
The Minister of Health, Lizinkosi, has assured the nation that the drugs and medications supplied by local health institutions is safe to use, as the ministry has put stringent measures into drug administration. The minister said this when giving a report on drug safety and availability in the country.
The Minister of Health, Lizinkosi, has given assurance that the expired drugs collected from health facilities stored at the central medical stores do not find their way back to the hands of patients. The minister says drugs are procured using authorized channels and proper records are kept to ensure expiry dates are closely monitored. She emphasizes that government can never put the lives of Eswatini in danger.
Imithi angisimisi ihamba njengelibhande. Ya odwa iyasetshenziswa lesetshenziswa isebenzile lengasasebenzi ikhishwe ibeke endzaweni. Lokwenda kusilemisi siyicoce sibeke endzaweni, siyicoce sibeke endzaweni ikakhulu central medical stores. Sendela ukuthi lemisi itophepha ingangene etandleni tebantu labangahle bayisebenzise kabi. So umuthi nangabe sowuphelelwe isikhathi noma usesibhedlela noma ukuphi, siyayisizama ukuthi siucoce ema clinics sobuyise central medical stores. Ukuthi sive singaphaphuleki lokho siyakwadi. Lalaba kubonile ukuthi kuse central medical stores kuliqiniso vele siyabutha simikise khona nakuletinye tibhedlela niyawakhanza emabhokisi lemakhoneni lapha sisamele kwacoca khona abhaliwe ukuthi expired.
On the issue of long queues for dialysis, the minister explains that some people arrive earlier than scheduled at the hospital in order to ensure they do not miss their appointments. The minister also acknowledges the shortage of dialysis machines, saying government is working on procuring them.
Lokho kubangelwa ukuthi baningi kakhulu abantu abasinga le service kwecala. Kwesibili side mission leminele live lonke nabo bonke abantu labasinga le service. So bayeta abantu khanze ukuthi labanye basuka khashana ngoba ngiyabekisa nje uselibonjeni kude lapho ngenda khona dialysis. So kufuna ute embabana. Labanye betha nge-public transport.
The minister has stated that the ministry will always ensure strict procurement, storage, distribution and disposal of drugs. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Mbabane.
The Public Accounts Committee is not satisfied with Eswatini National Industrial Development Corporation's responses regarding a loan given to a company called Lomveshe, which exceeded the set limit by close to 150,000 Malaguane. Going over the limit was not approved by the board. The committee says it is unclear when the loan is expected to be paid in full.
The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade was before the Public Accounts Committee on Monday, where it answered on a loan given to a certain company by the Eswatini National Industrial Development Corporation. The public entity loaned out this money to a certain company and exceeded its limit by about 150,000 Malaguane.
Kule acknowledgement yabo ye-debt inclusive 149 because thina sasikhuluma ngemali yonke lekweleta ngilomvesho ngaleso sikhathi ba-acknowledge ke chairperson ukuthi batayibhadala kune overdraw labayendile la maybe lengaveta chairperson ukuthi nangalanga kithi akusiko ukuthi sibalansisa ngesandla literally sisebenzisa Excel lo sebenzisa reconciliations as well nangalanga kithi so uma ngabe kwenziwa lama reconciliations kuyayifuneka ukuthi sibone nathi ngalanga kithi ukuthi kwendeke kahle kanjani.
The company says some of the money has been paid. However, some payments in the bank statement appear in the name of an employee of the private company.
My policies are approved by board. Goods and limiting money goods. So I see the limit. Nesibenzi and good la gas pull economthetho. Kosibe lesihlalo the statement of account would say how much is the connect wako la. Store boss mabana singing the go demand ngenile nayi le bhatalekile le my interest nanga.
The accounting lababhadala kula babhadala nebhekla ivele ikhombise lelo khona ama transactions ekuhamba kulomveshe onke. Endithina smart nalomcebo ukuthi ngibani. Uyasicocela nje futhi wena you didn't explain to us until we ask you. Because you're supposed to explain to us why la chairman nelbandla la kudahle kuvela abantu la
Letiko alekatilungiselele. Icala lapha ku controlling office inzaba yama references. Wathi solo baya bafuna emshinini akakhona ekutholakala emshinini. Yaqala lapho. Wabuya wasitshela nenyamatane lapha uthi akalungiselele akakhona ekujima kahle.
The ministry apologized for the unsatisfactory responses. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Momo Cup, Parliament.
The Public Accounts Committee says it has discovered that the company, which was reported by the Auditor General to have sold alcoholic beverages costing over 379,000 Malaguane to the Sincephetelo Motor Vehicle Accident Fund, has no license to sell the same. The committee says the company is licensed to sell motor vehicle parts, and if it were to be found that its owners sold alcoholic beverages, its owners would face the law. This has been said when the Ministry of Finance appeared before the Public Accounts Committee today.
Principal Secretary in the Ministry of Finance, Zagele Dlamini, has told the Public Accounts Committee that they still have questions regarding the procurement of alcoholic beverages costing over 379,000 Malaguane by the Sincephetelo Motor Vehicle Accident Fund. This was procured from a company by the name Value Auto.
I don't send a full audit of the procurement because AG naga auditor we are sample. Let's understand what exactly is happening because lama red flags segayavela segaba maningana.
SMVA Fund Chief Executive Officer David Mieni had his say.
Sibukela ukuthi sale senda le audit yonke letawubuka ukuthi vele la ka procurement kwendekani. Nekuthi ke singatreat ke le case lena sibuke onke lama procurement process nemithetho lekhona.
Members of the committee also made comments.
Ngathi mina ngiyavumelana ngithi hambana audit kudawuthatha about 2-3 years then nikhuluma ngakho. Kanti phela kwa audit la ithe query futhi niphendule nini. Asikhulume lokunye sinendaba futhi siyathi lokuthi kunengilokuganga. But ke nyalo sikhuluma nayi issue lesebe futhi befuthi niconze kuyo nenqo.
Baphinze bajike losesihlalweni bawubuka leti lip ukuthi tithini ngoba leti tibuya leti ngevakali chairman
si address le audit query kutholakala ukuthi le mali yaphuma kanjani yendani ngoba la ithi yakuthi kwathengwa tshwala engabe kunganani lokonakalayo kwendwe lama invoices lafana nalawa.
The Ministry of Finance is expected to submit documents supporting the procurement by tomorrow. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosi Mavimbela with Momo Cup, Parliament.
The University of Eswatini's graduation ceremony has been postponed indefinitely. According to the university's registrar, Dr. Salebona Smelane, this is due to unforeseen circumstances. Smelane assured the nation that those who received invitations should hold on to them.
In the last 2 years, the University of Eswatini has not been able to host graduation events due to the outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The University of Eswatini's registrar, Dr. Salebona Simelane, has announced that the graduation event scheduled for Saturday, the 8th of October 2022 is postponed. Dr. Simelane says future dates will be communicated.
Bonke ukuthi lo msebenzi lobuhleliwe ungeke usaba khona ngalolusuku lolubekiwe sethemba ke ukuthi lolusuku tawuphinze menyetele bantu bonke badiswe lo ukuthi sotaba khona nini lo msebenzi empeleni ke sikusho nje lokhu lo myuta ubuda lokuthi hawu ungase sekusetshenzwe kangaka kwentiwa yini lo tizathu nje ke tiyavela empeleni nangabe tivela kodwa nje sinele sikubeka kwanyalo ukuthi cha kunetizathu mhlambe lesingeke sibe singena kudo.
Dr. Simelane stated that preparation had already started. Simelane stated that the inconvenience is deeply regretted. 3,500 students are expected to graduate This is the highest number since the establishment of the institution. Eswatini TV News Sondomlangeni Mbongatube Matapa.
The Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade says it is working to ensure that businesses and stakeholders understand the details of the SADC-EU Economic Partnership Agreement, which is why they are currently conducting a training with stakeholders at the Happy Valley Hotel in Eswatini. The Acting Deputy Director of International Trade, Portia Dlamini, says investing in this agreement can increase the market for products from the country in Europe.
Seeing that local businesses who trade in Europe still have challenges in meeting the guidelines of the Southern Africa Development Community and European Union Economic Partnership Agreement, the Ministry of Commerce, Industry and Trade is currently running a workshop to capacitate them. The Acting Deputy Director, International Trade, Portia Dlamini, explains the details of the training.
We are here to capacitate the private sector on how best they can access the EU market through meeting the Economic Partnership Agreement's rules of origin criteria. So we are here to assist them to meet the criteria for rules of origin so that they are able to better access the EU market.
The SADC consultant, Mark Pearson, explains the rules of origin.
And within rules of origin, there are some technical details that the exporters would need to understand, such as classification, such as how to use a harmonized system, such as accumulation, what's called, which is sometimes quite difficult to be able to take advantage of.
Mlamuli Mota, the supply chain manager at RFG, says the workshop has allowed them to fully understand the agreement.
It's very fundamental for us to understand what rules govern the products that we engage in. One of the most important things is that you have to import a particular product which you will also factor into processing and then send back for exporting. And then you find that there are rules that govern that. If you are not aware of those rules, you might find that you are breaching those rules. So it becomes very important for us to be able to have an understanding for that.
The Acting Deputy Director, International Trade, says more stakeholders will be engaged on the agreement. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Zulwini.
The International Trade Center has brought together different stakeholders to find solutions which will help in fueling economic growth whilst being given technical support by relevant organizations. The Business Support Institution's expert, Duduzile Dlamini, says the training held at Happy Valley Hotel will further ensure small-medium enterprises holders are equipped with knowledge on how to get full support from all sectors.
With the aim of ensuring that micro, small, medium enterprises grow, the International Trade Center has partnered with stakeholders to convey packaged messages on growing their businesses. The Business Support Institution's expert, Duduzile Dlamini, says the initiative is important because it will help businesses to make significant profit.
This training we have today is to provide strategic business guidance to business support institutions. So what we do is we provide performance measurement and management training, and then we provide a one-on-one business coaching on their strategic plans. That includes advisory services on how they can structure their strategies in order to meet their goals.
A participant, Musa Sibanze, says the organization has helped them to fully understand business.
The support varies from the financial, technical aspects, human resource, and other organizational instruments that take into consideration the strategic planning, budgeting, and all other areas that seeks to ensure that our organizations, rather the organizations that we are supporting, being the multi-purpose cooperatives, are thriving and doing well on the ground.
The organization says supporting micro, small and medium enterprises is part of their mandate. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla with Mbongwa Dube, Zulwini.
The Ministry of Home Affairs has been able to register over 13,000 people who seek civil registration through the mopping exercise. According to the Ministry's Communications Officer Mlandvo Dlamini, the exercise will continue in 2 regions until December 2022.
The Ministry of Home Affairs launched the mopping exercise last year with the aim of giving a Maswat an opportunity to register for civil registration closer. The Ministry's Communications Officer Mlandvo Dlamini says the exercise will continue until the 2nd week of December 2022. Dlamini says the exercise targets 2 regions, which is Chiselweni and the Lubombo region.
Tel Paliso event pass and the passenger when they want study kwabonakala ukuthi bantu kunetingqinamba tsite eletenda ukuthi bangakhoni kuto bhalisi kulokunye bekuyi transport kulokunye basweletona timali.
Dlamini says it is every child's right to have a birth certificate. Dlamini assured people from other countries who seek citizenship or legal documents to be part of this exercise as they will not be arrested. Dlamini also stated that over 8,000 birth certificates have been registered and issued. This exercise is in line with the United Nations goal of ending statelessness. For Eswatini TV News on Domlangini, Themba Shabangu, Mbabane.
Young Heroes has roped in Swaga to train community workers under the LIVES program with the aim of giving community workers the skill of drawing victims of gender-based violence to access healthcare services.
One of the objectives of the Pilau Norte project is ensuring the well-being and protection of orphaned girls from 0 to 17 years of age. The project officer Tsepo Chabalala says the project is currently taking place in 5 constituencies in the country. These are namely Pixpig, Nfonjeni, Mojane, Sipotosini and Mhlangatane.
Namuhla la siceleke bakaswaka through USAID ukuthi bathosi trainer basiqeqeshe ngaletindzaba leto lokuthi nasesilema communities nasebekuvela letindzaba tabo GBV nabo intimate partner violence. How do we as the first line of support ngoba vele nasikema communities njengoba kusho ukuthi siqashe abantu lekuma communities nathi nasiphuma lapha siyoqeqesha bona ukuthi how do you then react or support those survivors of GBV.
A press release by Swaga in August 2022 reflects that most abuse cases continue to happen in the domestic space, as 221 cases of abuse were reported by Swaga in August. For Eswatini TV News, I'm Thando Mdluli with Themba Shabangu, Matsapa.
A truck has overturned at the Malaguane Hill, landing onto a government vehicle. The government vehicle had 3 occupants, 2 of whom were rushed to hospital, while the driver did not survive. The truck was transporting coal from South Africa to Sokoto.
The accident happened around 4 p.m. The truck, which was ferrying coal, turned over, landing on a government vehicle which had 3 passengers. The 3 passengers who work for the Central Transport Administration were reportedly from work. A traffic police officer, Assistant Superintendent Andrew Mota, who was interviewed before the driver of the car was taken out of the vehicle, explains what happened.
Umshayeli ukhala ngathi imoto yakhe bese abesevani kahle emabhilikini. Nakehla ikakhulu nje nake ngcebha high uthi ngilapho baqale khona ukuthi abasalalelani sebaphikisana. Uthi ke bekasolo anendlela ukuthi ufuna lapho angayikhokhela eceleni khona ayiwise kuze ingane uchubeka ibulale abantu abanenge kubheka le ndazi. Ubese sewudibana nenkinga ukuthi ke letimoto betithi nengakhulu. Uthi uzamile kudenga timoto. Uyabala ke nemakhumbi lazamile kuweca. Uthi ke le moto legcine seka ishayisa lelo liyakhe seyiweleta kwayo bese iyekugcina. Nasibuka nje la ngile trailer yekugcina uthi yena bese acabanga ukuthi soyiqedzile lokuyenga solo ativika ngoba bese kaqhamuka ngale ku passing lane sekathi vele soyayiwisa ngokuthi sekunale siganga la ngenhlanhla lembi ke wakhanza athi akakayiqedzi le moto lokuyi overtake yase le trailer yekugcina seyihuka le moto sokugcineke sohamba nayo le moto ngekuyihulisa gcineke lo mthwalo seyiyawa lelo nalo mthwalo wala malahle sowuwela la tukwa le moto lebe yilayisha abantu abathathu ngomshayeli.
The car driver was taken out of the vehicle after more than an hour. The truck driver survived the accident. Police have asked motorists to be extra cautious on the road. For Eswatini TV News, Temgosima Vimbela with Muzim Konda, Malaguane.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our financial markets.
Bank, it can be.
Moving on, we'll have a look at our sports news. Manini Pirates Football Club, Rangers and Eswatini Hotspurs are the three seeded teams to proceed to the semi-finals of the Momo Cup tournament, following the results that showed that they received the most votes. Babane Highlanders, Manzini Wanderers, Denver Sundowns and Manzini Seabirds will be competing in the playoff semi-finals.
Moanini Pirates Football Club, Rangers and Eswatini Hotspurs are the three seeded teams to proceed to the semi-finals of the Momo Cup tournament, following the results that show that the three teams received the most votes. According to the rules and regulations of the tournament, the local big three, being Babane Highlanders, Manzini Wanderers and Babane Swallows, were already seeded in the semi-finals, but with the request that they must at least register 20,000 votes each from their fans, Aspe being the most followed class. But in the event another club gets more votes than them, they are automatically out. Manzini Wanderers will face Babane Highlanders, while in another game, Manzini Seabirds will play Denver Sundowns this coming Saturday at the King Sobuza Memorial II in Hlangano, with the winner of the playoffs automatically joining the three teams that are already seeded into the semi-finals. As per the report of Momo Cup organizers, over 200,000 Emaswati voted in this Momo Cup tournament. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Zuluini.
And with that, we sum up our bulletin for the evening. Up next is the update from myself and the team. Thank you for your company. Good night.